Everybody, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. So this may end up not being too long of a video, I'm not sure, but I just wanted to address Katie Proudfoot, Sebastian Rogers' mom's response to what Seth Rogers, her ex-husband Sebastian's father, said about the SA against him and a few other issues with her response, because I have issues with them. I take issue with her. I no longer give her the benefit of the doubt. I have tried to, and if you've been watching my channel, you know I have not been very hard on her. Okay, I'm not one of those people that instantly goes after the custodial parent and calls them responsible and all that. But as of yesterday, my mind has changed a little bit. I don't necessarily think she did something with Sebastian, but I do think that her poor mothering has made her responsible for whatever has happened to him. And I have problems with her. I have problems with her. I do. So some of this, because I'm a little heated, I'm a little angry, this may come across as being directed to her. And it is. I mean, I doubt she'll ever see this. But it may be directed to her. I have notes and I have a response. So I'm going to post it here and we're going to just read it together, okay? I'm going to read the whole thing and then I'm going to go over certain points. So I'm going to try not to get distracted as I read it. That child was not 13 and we did not allow my son to be ABUSED. We contacted all authorities. My son received all the available help he could get. Multiple therapists involved. His doctor did know because he went to the doctor and got checked immediately. Seth was involved in his therapy as well. There are so many lies in this story, including him failing to mention where Seth got banned from the base for his violent tendencies, where at the time my son was seeing psychiatrists and psychologists to help him with his trauma from Seth's ABUSE and the trauma from being assaulted by this child. Let me be clear, I think it is sickening that this man is airing my son's trauma online. My son, and I believe in my heart we will, wait, no. My son deserves better than that. When we find him, and I believe in my heart we will, the truth will come out. He is doing his best to slander us as parents, but my son is loved and cared for and always will be. Public opinion based on lies, assumptions, half-truths is rampant because of things like this, which has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. I will not stoop so low as to partake in a back and forth arguing with him. God knows the truth, and the truth always comes out. Please stop the madness and focus on finding Sebastian, because that is the most important thing. First of all, Chris Proudfoot wrote this. I can just tell by the vernacular, if that's the right term. Okay, first she says, or she or he, whoever it was, says, that child was not 13. So she just confirmed the story is true. It did happen. She admits that it did happen. And to say we did not allow my son to be ABUSED. Well, it happened under your watch, Katie. It happened under your watch, Miss Thing. It happened under your watch. Why weren't you watching an 8-year-old with an older child? Disgusting mothering. And then Seth got banned from the base for his violent tendencies, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's true, maybe not. I don't know. It hasn't been verified. But that doesn't really have anything to do with the ABUSE you allowed, Katie. It doesn't account for that. And including the physical and emotional ABUSE you allowed your current piece of shit husband to do. Okay? You're dim. Katie is dim. And again, I believe that Butthead Chris wrote this, but we're addressing it as if Katie wrote this. But yeah, it doesn't account for the ABUSE, emotional and physical ABUSE you allowed done to Sebastian by Chris, who is an animal, a wild, disgusted animal. That's an insult to animals, and I apologize to every animal on the planet. And you want to mention Seth, A-B-U-S-E. What about that sack of turds you're married to now, Katie? What about him? That sack of turds you're married to now. And I hate the word turd, but I used it because that's how hot I am about this. You're allowing him to shame Sebastian on television. You're allowing him, and I'm using the word allow because once you're married to someone, it's a partnership. So if one partner does something, the other partner allowed it. It's a partnership. So if you're allowing him to do something, you're responsible too, darling. You are. You're allowing him to shame Sebastian, talk shit about Sebastian, and you've allowed him to ABUSE Sebastian. You've allowed this, Katie. You have. It's you. You're responsible for the mistreatment and the life Sebastian has led. You are. That child came out of your body. You're responsible for what's happened to him. You are. You are. I'm getting pissed off, guys. I'm sorry. Then to say, I think it is sickening that this man is airing my son's trauma online. This had to come out. And you just didn't want it to come out because it makes you look like more shit that you already look like to begin with. You, Katie, it makes you look like shit. You didn't want this to come out because of how it makes you look, you dim cow. You didn't want this to come out because it makes you look shittier than you already did. And you already looked pretty shitty, doll. You already looked pretty shitty. You didn't want this to come out because of that. He didn't give this information to hurt Sebastian. He gave out this information to show the trauma this child has been put through. And this is just a smidgen of it. I'm sure there is so much more. I can't imagine what you have let that monster Chris do to Sebastian. But you're responsible, Katie. You are. And I know people may think it's unfair if I'm holding this mom completely responsible. But, you know, moms, that child was a part of you for 9 months. And I don't mean to exclude adoptive moms or anything like this, but we're just talking in these terms. If you don't have an inkling in you to protect your child from the piece of shit you're currently married to, I don't want to hear about your previous marriages and how those husbands were, because the piece of shit you're married to now and the fact that you're the 5th wife should tell you something, Katie. It should tell you what a piece of shit he is. You're the 5th wife. He's had 4 failed attempts at being married, and Nina did not paint him in a good light, and you're a piece of shit for marrying him. You're a piece of shit for bringing that piece of shit into Sebastian's life to begin with. Public opinion based on lies. The public's opinion is based on idiotic shit that you and your piece of garbage current husband have said. It's based on your actions and your inactions. It's based on the fact that you're not looking for Sebastian. You are not focused on finding Sebastian at all. So don't talk about keeping the focus on finding Sebastian when you haven't focused on it at all. Give me a frickin' break. If you were as focused on finding Sebastian as you were on talking negatively about him, you'd change people's mind. You would change people's mind. You just want to sit there and talk about what an inconvenience he's been on your life. And no, she hasn't said that directly, but shit she and Chris has said has pretty much painted that picture. That has painted that picture. And don't come in my comments and tell me I'm being out of line when you know damn good and well I am not. And I really wonder who wrote that statement. Was it Katie or Chris's dumbass? Again, the vernacular sounds like Chris. And he's contradicted himself so many times on Nancy Grace. He lied right to Nancy Grace's face. Yeah, name the place and time. I'll take the lie detector test. I'm a big, tough guy. I'm full of testosterone. I'm Mr. Badass. He's a fucking piece of shit. And I will say that to his piece of shit face. Name the place and time, piece of shit. But yeah, he's on Nancy Grace saying he'll take that lie detector test. And now he's like, oh no, I can't take it. TBI said I can't. But Seth can take it. Seth can take it. What the hell are you talking about, you piece of shit, lying piece of shit? God. And then, and I brought this up before in comments and stuff, but he said to Nancy Grace, he said, and this may not be significant to the search, but it's significant to what a dishonest piece of dog shit he is. Chris said to Nancy Grace his job was up in the air. And just a few minutes later, in the same damn interview, he said they left town with the camper because he's on his way back to work. How is your job up in the air, but you're on your way back to your job? Stupid. He's a stupid ass. The freaking audacity these people have. They haven't looked for Sebastian. They haven't looked for Sebastian. They're partying at the Cracker Barrel like they're happy they're finally free of Sebastian. They're going out to eat. They're having a grand old time. They're enjoying their life, Sebastian free. They're so full of shit. Awful. Just awful people. Now, Seth does strike me as someone with a temper, and maybe he has done things that are unfavorable in the past, but you know what? He's the only parent looking for Sebastian now. He's the only parent in interviews being emotional. He's the only one not sleeping. He's the only one crying for Sebastian. He's the only one shedding a tear for Sebastian. Well, there are strangers shedding tears for Sebastian. There are strangers out here who give more of a shit about Sebastian than you do, Katie. I'm not even addressing Chris because we already know he doesn't give a shit about Sebastian. And the self-admitted violence Chris done, he isn't doing anything. He admitted himself that, he's hit him. He's admitted himself that he's been an ugly, horrible stepdad. He may have not put it that way, but we all know he's a piece of shit. The Proudfoots are pigs. Screw them. Screw them. Screw them. I'm sorry. I've gotten heated. And because I'm upset. Because I have another very bad thing to talk about in another video. So, yeah. Yeah, they're disgusting people. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. And I will talk to everyone later. Bye.